Hey guys, Joey here from Clash J Video Productions. I just decided to do something a little bit different today. This is going to be a little bit different than my regular videos. I decided I wanted to try a fountain pen. So I got the Sheaffer calligraphy fountain pen. Now I don't think this is actually for calligraphy, but they market it as a 1mm fine point, but I think it's more like a medium or almost a bold because it's 1mm. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. Also, I got the refills that comes with one black and one blue refill in the package, but I wanted to try the blue black ink, so that's what I went for. As you can see, the pen itself comes in 5 pieces. And the ink cartridge too. Now I have tried the Pilot Varsity fountain pen. Y'all have probably heard of that before, but even though they say that it is a true fountain pen, it's not, because it's actually a rollerball pen disguised as a fountain pen. It's a rollerball pen with a fountain pen nib, so actually it's not a true fountain pen. But anyway, I've never used this type of system before, so wish me luck here. Hopefully I've got this right. Okay. Ooh, that's nice. Now I got this Orning and Rada notebook here, hardbound, that I haven't used in a while. I think that's right. It's Swedish for neat and tidy. And I don't know if I actually installed the cartridge right here. Hold on. Hold on, let me pause the camera. Alright, I got it to work. I just had to scribble a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and start writing. Yeah, looks pretty nice. I like it. I'm going to go ahead and try a lowercase. There you go. My handwriting does look a little bit different because I'm not used to this kind of nib, but as you can see, it does write very, very well. I'm going to go ahead and get my tripod and put it on the desk so I can get a better angle. As you can see, it's a bit different. But if you turn the point the other way, you can get a much finer line. It's a bit of a scratchier feel, but it lays the ink down pretty quickly. So, and the ink dries reasonably fast, but I mean not as fast as, say, your typical rollerball pen or something like that, but this is the other pen I've used, the Pilot Varsity. Like I said, I mean it is a nice pen, but it's not an actual fountain pen, so to speak. It's really a rollerball pen. So, and this Sheaffer is more like a true fountain pen. But anyway. I will admit that as I write with it, it seems to be getting smoother. And as you can see, a majority of the ink has already dried. That part hasn't, but it dries reasonably fast, and it just seems like a really good pen so far. And I've been wanting to try a fountain pen for quite some time. Not gonna lie, but as you can see, there's some wide definition there. But anyway, seems like it does a pretty good job. And I really like that blue-black color. Like I said, that's why I picked it out, because I was real impressed with the way it looked. But I'm going to go ahead and try some cursive here. My cursive isn't that great, but I'm going to try anyway. Oh man, let me let that dry. So yeah, I mean, I don't think my cursive is really that great, because the only real time that I actually use cursive to speak of is when I sign my name. But as far as I can tell, really nice pen. I'm actually gonna try using a Lamy fountain pen. I asked for that for Christmas, so I'll have to do another video when I actually do that. But as far as I can tell, it's really nice, although this isn't really what I would call a fine point. It's more of a, like I said, it's more of a medium point, but yeah, it's like I said, it was only about $5. It's about another $5 for the refills, so it's really nice, and just really happy that I decided to go for this. I will admit that when I first tried it wouldn't write, but now that the ink is kind of warmed up a bit, it seems to be doing a lot better. But I will say that this pen is not for everybody, just because the point is a bit different. But I am actually going to go ahead and switch out and try the blue ink and see how it does. If I can find the package here. Yeah. Excuse me a second here. Okay. As long as the ink doesn't fall out there, I guess that's a good thing. Okay. Alright. Alright. You have to excuse me, my desk is just a tad of a mess here. As you can see, there's no bleeding through the paper, so that's good, at least to this kind of paper. But there we go. Alright, yeah. You know, actually, to be honest with you, I really can't tell that much difference between the blue and the blue-black to speak of. But, yeah, they both look good. And this cartridge was actually did a lot better, I think, because it didn't. Really can't tell that much difference color-wise. I'd say the tint of the color is pretty much the same, but either way, I'll go ahead and give you a quick look. Smeared a little bit, but that's alright. Skipped a little bit, a little smear there. Even though I am right-handed, I tend to hold my pen like a lefty, as you can see. So I mean, I do tend to smear some, but anyway, go ahead and try this one more time. Yep. Anyway, looks pretty good from what I can see. I'm glad that I got to try out a fountain pen, so anyway, it's pretty cool. I would like to thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Well, I have to admit that this pen has gotten better, but it's still, I will admit, it does take a little bit of practice to write with, just because it is so much different than your typical pen. But that blue-black really does pop out on paper, and there is a lot of line definition for sure. And it is a fine point. As you can see, it has an F on the point. But if you ask me, I think this probably writes a little bit more like a medium point. Because as you can see, when I go like this, it's a pretty thick line. But anyway, and I will say that even though it is pretty awkward to write with, once you get used to it, it's not so bad. I really wanted to get a Lamy Safari pen, but the way the money situation at the moment doesn't allow me to do so. I am hoping to get one for Christmas, but for right now, this will have to do. But I will admit, for $5 though, I really did get a good deal on this pen. And it came with a blue, and like I said before, it came with the blue and the black ink cartridge, but I wanted to try the blue-black, and so that's what I'm writing with now, a blue-black ink cartridge. And I have to say that I'm very impressed with the way that it writes. Sometimes it skips just a tad, but I think that's mostly due to operator error, simply because I've never used a fountain pen before. But the nib seems to be a very good quality, and I am impressed that they added a comfort grip on here, because most fountain pens do not offer that luxury. It's not a super soft grip, but since I tend to hold my pen like a lefty and kind of hyper extend my thumb, it does really help a lot when I'm writing. And I'm using my my train counter book because I was using that book earlier, the hardbound, right here that's underneath it, and I think this paper is more suited for fountain pen quality. So I'll tell you, that ink color sure is pretty. This is definitely a calligraphy style pen, because as you can see with the tip here, it's more of a kind of a squared off tip as opposed to a more rounded tip like you see on most fountain pens. I was going to go for the Pilot Plumix when I went out to shop for a fountain pen today, but unfortunately I couldn't find one because the only place that I knew of that had it, which was Target, actually got rid of it. And short of paying $37 for a Lamy Safari pen at Pen Lovers Paradise, this was the only pen that I could find that came close to a, well, it is a fountain pen, but I mean, it's close to the Pilot Plumix, so. But I will say that it is a very good quality. Sheaffer is made by Bic, which is a very well-known brand of pens, and so you can't go wrong with this. But I did decide to buy the refills because I'm not sure how quick fountain pen ink actually goes. It's kind of like rollerball ink, but it doesn't run or bleed through the paper as much. As you can see, it doesn't really bleed like some of the cheap rollerball pens that you see, like the Chinese rollerballs. But as you can see, it just really pops on the page, that color, and it does smear a little bit if you're not careful, but the ink dries in a relatively decent amount of time. It doesn't dry as quick as, say, rollerball offerings from most of the big manufacturers, like Pilot or Bic. But let me just give you an example here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A little bit of smearing right there, but it's not very recognizable. So I'd say it dries about 8 seconds. So I'd say about maybe twice the amount of time as, say, your regular rollerball pen would do. But as far as I can tell, though, Sheaffer really knew what they were doing with this, and I am really looking forward to using it on my next railfin trip. As you can see, when you write with it, it's got almost like a square type shape to it, as opposed to like a rounded shape like you would get from your typical ballpoint pen. But that's because it's a different writing system. It's different everything, really. Different writing system, different nib shape, different nib size, different ink. But now I'm just writing random stuff. But anyway, so that's all I got right there. But anyway, I am very glad that I shelled out $5 to get this, and it really does have a nice feel to it, and it really, I have to say, I am looking forward to trying some different fountain pens, particularly the Lamy. I'm just kind of doodling here, but I guess it's better late than never to try a fountain pen. I mean, I'm 25 years old, and this is my first time actually using one, so I really didn't know what to expect, to be honest. You know, like, I wasn't really sure how to put the cartridge in, because I haven't really, like I said, I haven't used one before, so I really honestly didn't know what to expect. But I have to admit that I can see why a lot of people, not a whole lot of people, but, well, some of them, I can see why some people really like to use a fountain pen, because it really has kind of a timeless look to it. And I like that you can actually do different line widths with it as well. But yeah, I mean, if you're going for like a beginner's fountain pen, this is a good way to go. I do want to upgrade to a, like I said, to a Lamy Safari or a Lamy Al-Star, but as I said, I can't afford it right now, and hopefully I'll be getting one for Christmas. So we'll have to see. I'll do a review on the Lamy when and if I get it. So, but until then, I just wanted to give my opinion on what I think of a fountain pen. As you can see, I do have a little bit of trouble with the nib sometimes. That's just because I'm not used to doing it. But as time goes on, it will be less awkward for me to use. See, like that right there. I remember one time in college, somebody in my class said that I should be the note taker because I had the nicest handwriting in the whole class. And I thought that was pretty funny that they said that. But it was nice to get complimented on something like that. But I had really bad handwriting up to I'd say about 10th or 11th grade, but then I started collecting pens and I started slowing down with the writing, and it gradually improved to what it is now. I will admit that my handwriting does look a little bit different with this pen simply because of the way the point is, but that's something to be expected. So anyway, there you have it. Smear it just a little bit. Alright. Well, thank you for your time, y'all. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll have another review on the Lamy once I get it. Take care.